Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. If you're new here then hello, my name is Millie. I make videos just like this all the time. I post at least 3 times a week and usually I get my hands on the new releases and I buy, you know, the new eyeshadow palettes, new foundations, all things like that, and I review them here. And that's all well and good, but today I'm throwing it back. I've got some classics, some old makeup products, old to the market but new to me, and I'm testing them out for the first time today. All of these products are from MILANI. I really haven't tried very much from them at all and I'm very excited to get into this box of goodies here. I have quite a few products here that are all, like I say, new to me, all from MILANI. I'm very excited. I'm starting with foundation, and this is one that I've heard so much about online. So this is the MILANI Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. Now when I got this, I bought all of these things online. I was just trying to eyeball the colour. This is the shade 00A Porcelain. It looks like it could work. Let's just wait and see. So this is like very full coverage, which isn't usually what I go for. I usually like a light to medium at most coverage. Oh, it's very thick. Can you see that? That's like standing up on my hand. I'm obviously going to use a sponge to try and shear this out a little bit. Oh, this looks very thick, like very full coverage. And actually I think that colour, once that's blended out, I think that will match my neck quite nicely. So I'm just going to dab this in. Goodness me, that is a lot of coverage. And because this is foundation and concealer, I am going to be taking this right over the eyes, using this as my concealer. I usually only wear concealer around my eyes anyway, but let's just do half the face and we can do like a before and after, although the colour does look mental in comparison to like all of the redness. I do feel like it'll match my neck quite well. Okay, so first impressions, I really like it. I feel like it looks really nice. It's really nice and glowy. Obviously I have like just put my skincare on, so my skin is like juicy looking anyway. Like my skin is quite radiant looking from my skincare products, but I don't feel like this has like mattified it. I feel like it looks really natural for a very full coverage foundation. It's strange. I definitely got too much product on the back of my hand. I got like 2 pumps and that was like 4 times as much as I actually needed. I do feel like this is shearing out nicely with the sponge. I don't feel like it's too heavy looking. I would say that this is like the right amount of coverage for me for like an event. This isn't going to be an everyday foundation for me. It's too much for every day, but I feel like for an occasion, for something a little bit special, I feel like this looks really nice. Okay, so that is all of that blended out. I did build up the coverage a tiny little bit just to see what it would look like across the centre of my face, and I feel like it still looks really nice. It doesn't feel heavy at all. I was thinking that I wouldn't need to set this. I don't know why I thought that. It doesn't say anything about it being a matte formula, but I do feel like for me I need to just set a little bit down the centre. Despite the fact that I have dry skin, I feel like down the centre of my face this is just looking a little bit glowy for me. So I didn't think I was going to need a setting powder, so I didn't buy one. I'm going to just use a little bit of my favourite one, which is the Revolution IRL powder, and I'm just going to... I got one of these in like a gift with purchase. This is the HMB Cosmetics Super Soft Powder Puff. And I'm going to try this out with this powder because all of my powder puffs are dirty. They need to get washed. Ooh, this feels really nice and soft. So I'm just going to set down the centre. I will leave the sides as they are so that we can see how it goes. Not throughout the day. I'm not going to be doing a wear test today due to the fact that it's already 7 o'clock in the evening. but I will report back on how this looks. Like, before I go to bed I will get a few hours of a test in before then, but I will just very, very lightly set down the centre. So I feel like that's taken really nicely to the powder. Like, the face still looks really nice and glowy, but it is just a little bit more set down the centre. So I also didn't get any brows. You know, when you're online and you're like, yeah, I've got everything. No, I didn't get a brow product, so I'm going to just go off and do that. I'm using the XX Revolution Faux Brow, and then I promise everything else that I'm using for the rest of the video is from MILANI. I promise. Okay, so the brows are on, and now I need to add some colour, desperately add some colour back into my skin. So I got a little face palette thing. This is the all-inclusive eye, cheek and face palette. Let me take off this little bit of plastic. So this is what the palette looks like. This is like a full face in one palette, which I love. These sorts of palettes are so handy, especially if you're like going on holiday, something like that. You've just got everything all in one. This also has a really good mirror in it. So this has your highlight, your bronzer, a glimmery, shimmery, beautiful blush, and then more of a matte blush. Now the blush and the bronzer are not completely matte. They do have what looks like a little bit of luminosity to them, and then there's 3 eyeshadows down the centre. So obviously what we're doing today is going to be a sort of neutrally pink warm eye. I'm not going to be using either of these blushes because I picked up 2. Would it even be like a try on haul from me if I didn't get 2 brushes, or 3 if you include the palette as well? So I got the Rose Powder Blush. This is in 05 Coral Cove. How incredible is this colour? I'm so excited, and the packaging of this is absolutely beautiful. It's got like the imprint of a rose in it. So pretty. And then I finally caved. I bought Luminoso. I thought it for so long. I do think that this is a beautiful shade. Now that I've like seen it in real life, I'm like, yeah, I can see why people love this so much. But I'm going to start with the bronzer, and then I'll decide which blush I want to use. Whichever one I don't use, I will try on in a short tomorrow or the day after, sometime soon. But I'm going to, like I say, use the bronzer out of this palette first, going in with, of course, my Real Techniques blush brush, and let's just tap in lightly. I've only ever used one powder product from MILANI before, and it was a blush, and it's so pigmented. It's more of an autumnal shade for me, and now I've just gone blank. Berry Amore, is that the name of it? I think it might be. Very pigmented, very shimmery, beautiful, but let's just see how this goes. You saw how little I dipped into that then, and let's just warm up the skin. I need some life back in this moon face. Okay, I really like the finish of this bronzer. It's not completely matte, but it's not at all chunky or glittery. It's just like really softly luminous. It looks really nice on the skin. It does just look like it's warmed up my skin really nicely. It's not very pigmented though. I did have to build this up a little bit, which is fine, like for somebody like me who goes overboard very easily. I do quite like having a product that I need to like build up a little bit more, rather than it just being like so incredibly pigmented like straight off the bat. I do like that. It's very like soft and like warm on the skin. There's not any sort of cool undertone to it. So if you're wanting something that's like a bronzer contour, this isn't it. This is just bronzer, but that's absolutely fine by me, because if I were to have any sort of grey tone near my skin, I would just look like The Walking Dead. So I like that this is just warm. I really like it. So now I need to decide which blush I want to use. What am I feeling? Honestly, I was like instantly drawn to the Coral Cove one, but also I don't want to ruin the pattern in it. Isn't that silly? Like, I've spent my money on this and like I don't even want to use it because it's so pretty. But like I have to use it because I know that this colour will look incredible on the skin. So, using another Real Techniques blush brush, and let's just see how pigmented this is. I'm very aware that this is like a very bright colour, so I want to go in with less at first. Okay, this colour is also beautiful. I mean, we knew that it would be, like, look at it, we knew that it would be. But on the skin, that is not coming off. Like, I thought that this would look quite orangey on the skin, but I feel like this just looks like I've got a little bit of a sunburn, but in like a safe way. You know, I haven't actually exposed my skin to the rays of the sun. I have just, you know, got a little bit of a flush. It looks really summery and still really fresh. Like, it is a matte blush, but it's still like juicy and lovely looking on the skin. I really, really like that one. I mean, of course, I feel like because Milani is like a little bit more than other drugstore brands, like it's a little bit more expensive, just a little bit more premium, and I feel like I can tell. Like, I'm not going to be going out and buying like Dior and etc, etc. I'm not going to be spending that money on makeup. This is like as much as I'm happy to spend. But I feel like it looks lovely, so I'm going back into the face palette. I'm simultaneously looking for my highlight brush because I've washed it and I'm going to go into the highlight shade, and I'm just going to use a little bit, so don't feel like I need too much. And let's see what this is like. Oh wow, that is so pretty as well. That's like a gold undertone. That's like very warm, but that's really, really pretty. It's not leaving a cast. I like this too. So I'm just going to tap over that with my blush brush just to make sure that that's properly like blended into the skin. I feel like this looks so summery and so glowy, but also soft, but also like full coverage foundation. Like, it looks so good. I love it. So I'm going to use these eyeshadows like down the centre now. So obviously there's only so many things that I could do with that. I'm definitely interested in that shimmery shade in the middle though. Let's swatch these first. Ooh, that middle shade. Wow. That is so soft, but obviously I'm like limited to the look that I can do. It's going to be something pink. So I'm just going to take a fluffy brush, a little domed fluffy brush, and dip into this bottom shade. Oh, they are very dusty. Like, can you see the fallout down on the black bit of the packaging here? They are very, very dusty. So let's see. I'm not using an eye primer today. Let's just see how this goes. I did put a little bit of that setting powder over the lid, so hopefully this will blend out okay. So that's added a really nice like warmth. It's not getting any darker than this. Like, that is the darkest shade in the palette, so this is as deep as I can make this, which is fine. Like, obviously this is the light skin tones. I do believe they have a darker one as well, but I am limited to what I can do. I'm going to go into that top shade and I'm going to put that under the eyes. Honestly, on the eyes, those both look the same. Like, I could have just used the same one under the eyes as I did through the crease. It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, they look similar in the pan and they do come off similar on the eyes. Like, they do just look like a mid warm, I was about to say neutral, it's not neutral, it's warm, but it does just look like a sort of mid brown. So I'm going to use my finger and I'm going to dip into that middle one, which is that shimmer, and I'm just going to tap that across the whole lid. Oh, that's so pretty. It's like pink, and then when it catches the light it's like a warm gold. I feel like that's really, really pretty, especially on blue eyes. Like, that warmth, I feel like that would actually look quite good on like brown eyes as well. The warmth like really just makes your eyes pop. One last blend with a clean, fluffy brush, and I am very, very happy with how that looks. It's soft, it's pink. That is basically the only thing that I can do with that palette, but I do like how it's turned out. I do feel like that's really, really pretty. I'm going to use more of a dense brush, and I'm going to dip into that highlight shade, and I'm going to pop that right on my inner corner, like so. Oh, and that's blending in with that eyeshadow really, really nicely. That's just added that little pop. Just whatever I've got left on the brush, I'll pop under the brow bone as well. And then I'm very, very excited about the mascara. So this is the highly rated anti-gravity mascara. This has all of the claims that I look for in a mascara. Lashes that defy gravity, long wear, smudge proof, clump proof, 93% saw extreme volume and instant lift. If that isn't my checklist of things that I need in a mascara, then I don't know what is. So let's see what the wand is like. I prefer a natural bristled wand that sort of goes in the middle like an hourglass sort of shape, like this sort of shape. But this is not a natural bristle, this is like plastic bristles, which is fine. It looks interesting. I don't know if I've ever had a wand that looks like this before. I mean, it's quite large. So let's see what sort of volume I can get with one layer versus two first. Okay, is this my new favourite mascara? This looks incredible. So this is one layer and this is two. I feel like this looks incredible. So, you know when you've had a mascara for a little while and it sort of starts to dry out a little bit, it's getting a little bit thick. This is already like that. It's at like the perfect level of thickness to really coat the lashes, make them look so thick, clump them together, but in the perfect way. I love this. Why is it taking me so long to try this? Obviously, my love for this will wholeheartedly depend on if this is actually long lasting on me. I will report back, but first impressions, incredible. Okay, so that is the lashes done, and I feel like myself. Like, I don't feel like myself unless I've got a bright inner corner and lots of lashes. Often a wing. I'll let the wing go for today. These lashes are like my perfect lashes. I'm thrilled. So the last product that I have for today is the, what are you? Oh, it doesn't say. This was a matte lipstick. Was it like the Colour Fetish lipstick? I might be making that name up, but this is in the shade 410 Pleasure. And tell me that that is not my perfect nude. Like, there were not very many shades left on the website, but I'm so pleased that this one was, because this looks perfect. Ooh, it's got like a sweet caramelly sort of scent. That's really, really nice. So I didn't get a lip liner. Let's just apply this and see how we go. I definitely need a lip liner with this, but this feels really, really nice. It's matte, and I do feel like it's matte. Like, I can tell that it's a matte lipstick, but it's not at all uncomfortable. It feels lovely. It feels almost like a lip balm currently. I mean, obviously, or I would think that it would set down a little bit. Let me just overline the lips a little bit with the Essence 8 Hour Matte Comfort Lip Liner in Soft Beige. This is 03. Let me just overline a little bit. Just, I feel like this shade is verging on concealer lips for me, which I love. I love a light nude, but I feel like I do need, or I would benefit from, a lip liner. I feel like the difference is subtle, but I like this a lot more now. It was just like I was losing the lips a little bit into the rest of my face. So that is me done. This is my almost full face of MILANI. Like I say, I am going to do a short testing out the most famous blush in the world that I am about 15 years too late for, Luminoso. I will do a short for that. Look out for it if you want to see what I think of that one. But what else have I tried today? The foundation. If you're wanting full coverage that looks natural, which is like completely opposite ends of what you can expect from a foundation, I really like it. So far it's wearing really nicely. I have been filming for just over an hour, so this has probably been on my face for about an hour. The only thing is, I feel like, for me, I like to have a lot more brightness like around my eyes, so that's why I like using a concealer as well as a foundation, so that I can get that little bit of a brighter shade. So I do feel like for me, and if you're the same then you will understand, I don't necessarily get the benefit of the 2-in-1, but just as a foundation I think it looks beautiful. I will try this. Here's another shot. I will try this mixed in with my polyglutamic acid from the Enquiry list, my little trick that I do. I will try that soon as well. The face palette, I feel like this is a beautiful face palette. Obviously I haven't tried the 2 blushes in this. I will report back when I do. They look beautiful. I have no doubt that these are going to be fantastic as well. This bronzer, if you are very fair, is a beautiful warm shade. The highlighter is like a warm goldeny sun-kissed glow sort of a shade, and the eyeshadows are beautiful. For me, I maybe would have benefited from having one of these 2 matte shades slightly darker, just so you can make something a little bit more smoky, and then you could really do like day to night. I feel like this is a very beautiful day palette. I could just do my full face of makeup using this for the daytime, but this is just a little bit lacking for what I like to do for like a glam sort of makeup look. I like something a little bit more deep on the eyes. What else? The lipstick I really love. I've had this on for maybe around about 5 minutes now, just while I was doing that lip liner and everything, and it is setting down a little bit. Again, I will report back what I think of it. I do feel like it's a really beautiful shade. Again, I struggle with being so pale. Even like nude shades that are like universal nude shades, they look so dark on me because I am Casper the Ghost. Like, there's no colour to my skin. So I do like that this is nude. Like, this is actually a nude for me. And then mascara. I am obsessed. I will report back if this crumbles, if this flakes, if this transfers. I will let you know about it, because currently I am obsessed. Oh, and then the flower blush, the What Were You Rose Powder Blush, Coral Cove. Is this the blush shade of the summer? I actually had, was it Kelly Gooch, say that like peachy corally sort of blushes were coming in for this summer. This could be my blush of the summer. I feel like it looks really like fresh and like summery and just a little bit sun-kissed and really beautiful on the skin. So let me know if there's anything else from MILANI that you think I need to try. I definitely am interested in more of these. I'm definitely interested in more of these. So let me know if there's anything else that you think I need to get my hands on. Based on this first impression, I am thrilled. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you want to hang around for a little bit more craziness, some more makeup reviews and such things, I would love it if you would subscribe down below. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.